I want to welcome you to a live interview with me with Miss Sheree Williams. My name is Rita Ricks, and I am delighted to have Sheree. We have met in the past because she often comes to Richmond, and she will be here this entire weekend for the exclusive Blacklist. So there's still time for you to get tickets and meet everybody who loves wine. Now, let me tell you what's so special about Sheree. She has a magazine and she is celebrating, I think, 15 years, Sheree?
13.
13 years of having Cuisine Noir. I love that title, Cuisine Noir. And it's pretty ingenious because when you hear about magazines where the writer is interviewing people around the world about their foods and their wines and the like, they usually don't look like Sheree. So this is what's so really special about the exclusive Blacklist, and even more importantly, the people from around the world who support Benita Johnson, who puts this affair on. So, having said that, Sheree, we got to go back to the beginning real quickly. Because I want to know, you're living in Oakland now, but you're from Atlanta. So
I'm
just
Chicago.
from Chicago. Okay. So just kind of tell me, how did you get to this point of the magazine? What did you do before that?
So long story short, from Chicago, went to the University of Illinois, got an internship to come and work in advertising for a summer. I said, you know what, why not California? And so moved. I spent the summer out here doing advertising. Went back, graduated, and then I moved. I saved for a year, and then I moved back out here. And my career track has always been into communications, marketing, advertising, etc. And so my history has worked for Safeway, Visa, Macy's, doing marketing. But I've always been a writer at heart. So going back, I can remember in the fifth grade with Miss Delaney writing short stories. And so that has always been a common thread throughout my life. It's just writing. So fast forwarding again, when I was working at Visa, I met the founder of Cuisine Noir, who's a chef based out of Sacramento. And he was just tired of not seeing people who look like him as chefs in some of your mainstream magazines, Food and Wine, et cetera, et cetera. And so he was launching this, and I was like, oh, very exciting, very interesting, because I was really embarking on a freelance career. And it's like, what am I going to write about? Is it lifestyle? Is it travel? What is what? And so it really intrigued me. And so we launched sort of Cuisine Noir digitally in
Okay.
2007 when the web was really blowing up. Gave us a chance to test the waters, sort of build an audience. And then I took it over ownership in 2009, and the rest is history.
Were you fearful at all about taking it over?
You know what? I wasn't. I was a young 30 something who knew I had talent and skills, and it was new and it was exciting. And so no, I didn't have any fear. But I would say the journey along the way sort of made you doubt the talent that you thought you had, when other things come into play that are out of your control.
Exactly. And that's the business part, because
Mhm.
as entrepreneurs, we know our craft, we know our tasks, we know what we're doing. It typically is the business part that
Yes.
can kind of derail us. So congratulations to you.
Thank
Do
you.
you consider yourself a journalist, a business owner, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Definitely both. Mhm.
Okay. So tell me some of the people that you've interviewed, and tell me some of the amazing things that you never expected to come out of their mouths.
We have been blessed to interview some great celebrities and then some small, not, I wouldn't say small town, but your hometown heroes, right? So I personally have interviewed Dr. Maya Angelou before she passed away. We've interviewed like Wendy Williams back in the day. Whenever there was someone who won a reality TV show, the Neelys or Rock Harper or Aaron McCargo Jr., we've always interviewed them. And then, like I said, your small town heroes that are really just doing great things in their community, whether it's opening a restaurant that has been around for 50 years, like Alfreda's in Houston, of keeping that legacy alive from the previous owners. Someone that is really being authentic to Black food, Black cuisine and the Black foodways.
Right.
And so I would say the journey has been very inspiring from their stories, because they're often start off that I was a banker, I was this, I was that.
Really? That's interesting.
Everyone's journey, well, I wouldn't say everyone's, but majority of the journeys that we write about
Mhm.
on like this, they started with grandma, mom, or somebody in the kitchen,
Mhm.
and then they went somewhere else, and then they came back to the kitchen.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so you learn that some of the other stories are, we just did a chef up in Alaska, and Derek Green, and he talked about how within 24 hours he lost his house and his restaurant, and just but the perseverance of pushing
Yeah.
through, and then having another restaurant where he is right now. You know what I mean? Because that could break somebody.
So question number one, what in the world was he doing in Alaska?
You- that's where he's from.
Oh, is he?
I
This is
mean,
this
we
is this is an African American?
yes, I know that. That is the perception, exact. We featured within the last month two African American chefs. There's actually three we have featured. One, her name is Charity, and
From
she
Alaska?
from Alaska. She's
Okay.
indigenous and Black, and then two Black males. One, his family came from the South and moved to Alaska. Mom looking for something different. Then the other one, I believe he had a military background, so that's what brought him to Alaska. But yes, Black-owned restaurants in Alaska.
I am I am too excited about that. What
Mhm.
did Dr. Maya have to say that intrigued you?
Well, one, ending the interview with, and I look forward to reading Cuisine Noir. Now that just blew me off, and just, I didn't hear anything after that. But, she talked about entertaining because we were talking around her book, Hallelujah, and just how she entertains from the foods that she selects and how she goes about the guest list and just preparing for all of that. Just made it very special that you could really tell that entertaining was so in her blood. And that's something she loved to do.
Yeah. It's so ironic because I had a client, it's now a little before 4, but I had a client at 2 who has a kind of walk-in restaurant, walk in to grab food and walk out. But she is building a restaurant right next to
Mm,
it. She doesn't drink wine. She
okay.
called me because she has decided she wants to serve wine in the new restaurant.
Okay.
And she was asking all kinds of questions, which was so exciting, because she doesn't know about wine, but she wants to. And she said, and I want to pair. She had researched, and she
Mhm.
said, I want to pair. And so it was just so interesting because, again, she was saying, a lot of the Black restaurants in the area where she is, it's not about customer service. It's not really about fine dining. Now,
Mm,
she is in the east end of Richmond, and there really are not that many restaurants, period. You can walk in and walk out, but she's really going for this style, and
nice.
I'm so proud of her. So I will make sure you all meet because I sent her the information. She didn't know anything about exclusive Blacklist, but she does now, and
Okay.
she will be there. And she was just saying, I want it to be fine dining,
Mhm.
and fine dining. I mean, I always have a dinner mat when I sit, and I always have the napkin, and I always have my stem glass, even if it's water,
Mhm.
because that to me is part of the dining process.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm sure, with Benita having just a wealth of knowledge around wine, alcohol is a big money maker for restaurants,
Mhm,
but also the great thing, there are wine selections that are non-alcoholic. So she can have a nice mix, especially for those who don't want the ambiance of maybe having a glass of wine,
right.
but it's non-alcoholic. And so that I would say over the last 5 or so years, you're really seeing companies that cater to those who want to be dry. And so, she doesn't necessarily have
We want to
to
have the look.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's got so many options going down that road.
Well,
That's very exciting.
that's so cool. I cannot wait to introduce the two of you, because I said to her, you can talk to everybody there and everybody's going to give you their opinion and their recommendations. So that is so good. So besides, do you just focus on one guest a month, or do you have several? And what else is in your magazine?
Oh no, we have writers from around the world that are constantly writing, and so we always have features that are coming in. So between features that we're writing about globally, and then also just being that resource for what's happening in the world related to Black folks and food, drink, and travel. So you'll see that on Cuisine Noir as well. So we just posted something about National Soul Food Month. We posted something about the Black Bourbon Society having their tour. So, we're really that resource for whatever you want to know that's going on in this industry, again, as relates to Blacks and food, drink, and travel.
And how is it subscription based?
Not at all. Nope. You can just go to cuisinenoirmag.com and all the stories are there daily.
Oh, wow. Now see, I don't think I knew that.
Yep.
So that is easy enough. I want you to say that again, where they can go.
So Cuisine Noir, so that's CUISINENOIR mag.com.
Right.
And you can there's stories, recipes, just a whole bunch of wealth of information that you probably won't see anywhere else.
Now, do you cook?
I do.
Okay. And so what happens? Do you have other people who come in and you cook with them? Do you cook with friends? What do you do?
Right now, especially with COVID, it's just myself. And
how has that been for you, girl? Has that been okay?
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Cooking is my Zen time, because during the day I'm so, I've got to manage different time zones, which is a blessing, right? But I'm managing different time zone, different projects, different people. And so when I get to cook, I put on my music and it's just me and the food. So, but if I do have friends over, is a different story. But for the most part, on a day-to-day basis, it's just me. But I do, I haven't entertained as much again. Not like I was a big entertainer, right. But I have to say I have not, probably since COVID, really entertained much. So
what country does your favorite wine come from?
Italy.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I love it. You know what? I just love the smoothness of Italian wines. I love sparklings. I'm a big Prosecco girl.
Okay.
In terms of reds, I love a great Sangiovese, which is a nice light red. I like my Italian wine and I like my Italian cheeses. And so
I like my Italian men. I'm just, we just talking.
Exactly.
It's not going out of this room.
Then food, wine, all of it.
That's right.
But yeah, definitely Italy is where
we will have to talk more on Thursday. I'm so glad you gave us some time today, and we want you to have safe travels. And we will see you Thursday, and again Friday, and then Saturday.
Looking forward to it.
Sheree, it's always good talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita. We'll see you soon.
All right, darling. Okay. Bye-bye.